Blessed Uprising Family. Welcome to another episode of the Blessed Love Podcast with me, Tanya Igunyemi. And today we have a very, very special guest. This is Miss Tatiana Tina Jackson, my twin sister. We are third in line, right? And the first set of twins, because mommy does have another set of twins. She has twin boys that were born after us. So we're the first set, fraternal twins. And today we're going to talk about the book Sis. And we call her Sis. When I speak to my friends of her, she's Sis. And all my friends call her Sis. How's Sis doing? So I'm gonna call her Sis because, is that okay?
Oh yes, Sis, that's fine.
Okay. Sis. But yeah, so Sis wrote. Oh, go ahead, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. Go ahead.
I'm jumping in late, but I don't say Sis because she's not my sis. So I may say Big Tina because I have Tinas, a big and a small. So this is my Big Tina, right?
Yes. That is her house nickname. We was all in the house together. It was Big Tina and Small Tina. So Big Tina, Sis,
Same
Tina,
person.
Same
Tatiana Jackson. That's her. So, but we're here today to talk about the book that she wrote about her life. And it's called The Hardest Life I Lived. And it's an autobiography of her life from ages, I think as far back as 5 from what she remember.
I think, excuse again. I think she went to 3 years when at the beginning of the book she described her accident.
Yeah, so it was like a very early.
Okay,
Yeah.
3.
Right, she
Three.
described her accident.
3, okay. So 3 to about age 35. And this is actually like part 1 because she's currently writing, part 2, still going on with her life, today. So she just, steady writing in the part 2. But part 1 is that age range, age 3 to 35. And it tells a story about, I think the majority of it is when you had left home.
Yes, when I left home.
Yes, and when she had left home. And before I go into it, I'm gonna let Sis, you go ahead and just, if you want to speak and say anything in reference to your book, like why you wrote the book, what it's about.
Oh, okay.
If you.
The reason why I wrote this book about my life is, I've been through a lot in my life, and I just wanted to share my experience with the world and with other women who's been through what I've been through in my life, being abused, raped, beaten, almost getting killed. So it's like my journey that I went through, I just want to share with everybody and, just let them know what I went through. And I thank God that I still made it out, because God was with me during that whole time, because I could have been gone and nobody would have known, Just like Mommy said to me yesterday, and I kind of broke down when I was at work because it kind of really got to me, and then I knew today was going to be hard for the 3 of us to come together. And I'm not blaming you, and I'm not blaming Mommy for anything of what I've been through, because that time when I left home, that was my choice. I took that path, and I remember that night when I left, Mommy was in the room with ISIS, and she said, "Oh, Big Tina, you have a choice. You can stay and help raise your daughter, or you can leave and go do whatever."
God damn.
And I remember,
Hot dog.
what? And I took, and I,
Did I say that?
yes, Mommy,
I
you
don't
did.
remember it.
Oh, yeah. And I left because I don't know. I left because I just felt like I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't raise ISIS, and I just felt like I was being hindered. Even though mommy was only doing her job, telling me what to do and how to raise ISIS, I just felt like that. I don't know. It was just too much for me.
Overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. I'm like, well, let me leave, and mommy, you could raise ISIS.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Yeah. And and at that time,
Yeah.
I would say I might have been, not taking her into consideration because the focus now was on ISIS.
Right.
And me trying to get her to do the things that a mom needs to do.
Right.
And she wasn't fully
There.
prepared for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, even though I'm there and I'm doing, and I'm helping, but when I go off to work, she's there with ISIS by herself.
Right.
So that's why when she comes home, when I come home, and I'll take ISIS because ISIS slept with me and everything. That's how we kind of shared it. But I never really asked her about her burden in the day, and we never had a conversation.
No.
Right? We
Nope.
conversate about other things,
Yeah.
but
Not that.
how she was doing,
Right. Right.
I would ask her what she did for ISIS,
What'd you do
you
today?
know, but not how you doing, how you feeling, did you get through your day, where she might be able to ping back to me and explain what she was feeling. So I kind of missed that opportunity, because, you was young, and I think I might have been young too mentally or something, so so I apologize for that,
Oh.
for not, even thinking that you were feeling anyway. I was just being mommy. Okay,
Right.
did you wash the bottles? Did
Right.
Change-
Clean
Right.
up, change her,
Yeah.
bathe her, all those things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, sis, man, so when you wrote the book, and she had the book written for quite a while, and we was all like, oh, let's get it edited and published so we can have a book, to even put here in the Culture Corner, because it is a story that many women do experience, live out, and some make it and some don't.
Right.
And so, truthfully, I was like, oh, get somebody to do it, because I don't know if I could come to read the book. You know what I'm saying? And I told you that when we was on the porch the other day. And truthfully, because you are, you're my other half, and just to even think that, you're hurt, or I'm done. I'm done. Like, where's my guns and who I got to kill? Because, it's just that serious. And I know this book says those things, so I just don't think I can even hold that in my mind, and even though we're past that at this point in time, I can't. It's hard. It's heavy.
And the other thing too, that's we are hearing some of the things for the very first time.
Right.
And so it's really laying heavy on our hearts. And right now I can just feel it.
Right.
I'm feeling it. So,
Right.
I think, it's because some of the things we don't even know what's coming on today, because, she couldn't build up the strength to read it. and I read through to a certain point, and you know, it's like you have to take it, feed yourself the book in parts, one spoon at a time, and just let it rest. So, you know, today we might be not
it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
But we did, you know, we did come to the conclusion about doing the podcast on the book, because to me, I could tell sis wanted to get it out.
that outlet.
She wanted to get it out. I can tell that she wanted me to know what she went through, because mind you, I left. I was going to the Army. I left the day that Isis was born. I got in the van and was on my way to Fort Jackson to basic training. So, and I'm not sure how long after that sis left the house. So I wasn't even in Georgia, in the house with mommy and everybody when sis was gone. I just, you know, was calling back, and mommy was telling me, you know, Big Tina left, and when I called, did she come back yet? And every now and then she would call me, and I'm like, you know, please go back home, and, you know, you just wouldn't go, and I was like, oh my freaking God.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to go back home so bad, because I just, even though I didn't know what you was going through, I just knew being out there wasn't good. You know, home.
No, because
Home is where the food is. That's why I always say
Right.
I didn't even want to leave, but I just kind of ended up going into the Army. But I didn't really want to leave. But and when you just left, and it was like
the thing,
not coming back. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
and
God.
the thing about her leaving home, we're a big family, and because Big Tina had that accident when she was like 3 years old or so,
Yeah.
and she was unable to walk, and you know, even her speech was slurred, and she came out of that accident really as lost her age capacity. She went on down to be, you know, almost
Like
like
an
a baby
infant.
again. So we always kind of see her as a, you know, that child we gotta protect. Her brothers always like trying to protect her. Everybody was, you know, we were around her in a way that we wasn't pressing on her, because I always wanted her to stay normal. You know, you just don't worry about what it is. If you cry, we will all hug and things like that. But you know, so in that space, I understood that she wouldn't do well out there. And that's why I had to raise my hand and say, did I say that? You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't recall saying that, and so I have to question myself and say, well, you know, I felt like I was, at that time when Isis was born, that's why her name is Isis, I was going through my transition, my awakening. So at that point then, I probably didn't have the wisdom enough or the memory to realize that if she hits the streets, she would be a walking target.
Right.
You know, and that's exactly what happened. But then, the only thing I could remember saying with her and that is that, oh, she would be the last one to leave the house. That
Yeah.
was almost
You did always say
always
that.
my
Yeah,
thought.
You did always say
She would
that.
be the last one. So that's why I can't put those two things together. But she would remember more than me. You know, it's like 27 or more years I'm talking about. So,
Yeah.
you know, I have to give you that. So you go ahead and take up where we left off.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was just explaining on why I couldn't read the book. And But so that's okay. Yeah, so that's why I couldn't read the book, and I still can't. And I don't know if I will ever be able to do it. So I don't want you to be mad at me for that.
Oh no, no. I know if you can't read it, it's fine with me. I just want you to know a little bit, what I was going through and all the crazy stuff, I did or whatever, I know it was going to be hard for you and for mommy too, but I just...
Because you did say it in the book quite a few times. From what I read up to, I read the beginning up to when you met, like I said, I believe it's the girl that got killed, up to you met her. And, that was... Dang, did you have ISIS yet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you had. Oh yeah. And you met her. So, and in that time frame, you did say, mommy, you referenced me and mommy quite a bit about. Please don't be mad at me, and y'all will be surprised, and all this and the other. And then I think, as I was reading, those indicators right there was just confirming that, Lord, I'm not going to be able to take it. I'm not going to be able to take it. I'm going to read up to I know when I'm just going to be too done. And it was up until you met the girl and the guy. And I was like, okay, here's the cliff. I'm not jumping off. So close it up. And so, we're going to have to find somebody to edit this book. Because that was, that was my second job. My first job was to read it, to know your story. And then my second job was to edit it and make it, do all the things so we could put it in the book and put it on the shelf. So, so that we still going to have to end up. Unless, Mama, you want to do it?
I thought about that when I started reading it, and I said, okay, because some of the things, in the beginning, I was present for some of the things, so, I can, I'm not saying give an input, but I can maybe just help
structure it
a little bit, and Big Tina made the point that she didn't want the language that she used to be changed. She wanted it just to be raw. When I was reading it,
oh my God.
Yeah, rawness.
Raw. Okay.
Girl, I'm like, girl.
So for me to even think that coming from her is just unimaginable.
That was the next thing.
I couldn't imagine.
That was the next thing. I was
because we know this baby. She never grew up, as far as none of us concerned. Everybody thinks of her as a baby.
Right.
So the language, I was like, that's what I said, Big Tina.
Oh, you called her?
Yeah, she called me yesterday. She was like,
I was like, girl.
you're right, Mom.
I said, I didn't know you were such a hot
Girl.
But you know what?
I was like,
Sometimes before I left, you know what I kept asking? I was like, well, where the hell was that? That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm just like,
I know we haven't, we are just talking.
Talking right now. It's
yes.
Like I said, most of the things we didn't.
They didn't know. Yeah.
We didn't know about it. So,
and I could have asked her when I first read the book, because I just gave it to you yesterday to look at. But I said, no, I think we need to have this conversation together, because we almost did it when you was in Georgia last weekend.
Yeah.
But I said, no, all three of us need to do it together, because it really affected all of us. And because you made reference to me and Mommy so many times in the book, I said, okay, well, we do have to talk about it together. That's the only way to do it.
Right, so we're not going to take up any more of your time.
Oh,
This
no.
is your time.
Okay, yes. So I do have some questions. I have a question to ask you in reference to the book. Well, yeah. Maybe I'll just ask it now. That's okay. And this one question right here is my burning question from the time you would call me on the phone and you'd be somewhere and I'd be like, the question is, why didn't you go home? Go back home? Why didn't you ever go back home? You just stayed away.
I don't know. I did just stay away. I don't know. I didn't go back home. I know one thing because she wasn't there. So, and I know that's like the number one reason I didn't go back home. Like, why should I go home? Tony's not there. But yeah, I just chose to stay out in the streets with whoever, my friends or whoever they was at the time. So I thought, yeah.
And my question would be, you didn't want to go back because, and it's a question, did you feel then like we were suffocating you and you couldn't be free to be you?
Yeah.
Did that come into play any time at all? Because
That did come into play a lot, you know. I just felt kind of free, but then again, I'm like, oh, I have a child at home. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, why don't you go back home, Big Tina? But I was like, mommy, you know, mommy has ISIS, and you know, from what we all know, I just didn't want to deal with that either. So I'm like, okay, I just wanted to be out there, be free, you know, or yeah, I did.
and you know, I asked that question too because I made the statement that you're gonna be with me. You're gonna be the last one to leave home. So it kind of shocked me that you was almost like the first after Tanya left. You just went straight behind her.
Right.
That was it, and it was just surprising to me that, because I always felt like, oh, I'm gonna take care of you
Forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know.
Every time you said that to
Right.
me, I was like, oh, Mom.
Yes. So okay.
Did that statement make you feel a certain way? If you can remember, because mommy always said that. I got CRS, and it's one thing I remember. Mommy always said that you would be the last to leave, and you know we'd take care of you. Did that make you feel?
No, it actually made me feel special because I knew Mommy, she always protected me from everything, and you did too. I think it's just that after, you know, when I got older, you know, I was like, well, it's time for me to find my way, even though I found it the wrong way. But I was like, well, I just have to get away, you know. You know, so yeah.
Mom, how did you feel when Sis left?
I don't talk about this. I don't talk about it because you know that was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard, and I keep telling her brothers, you know, oh, when you see Big Tina, please tell her to come home. Tell her to come home. You know.
And you know who brought me home? Mike.
Mike, I remember that.
Mikey brought me
I
home.
remember when you came home the very first time.
Oh, okay, the first time. Yeah.
Mhm. But
Mike.
she didn't stay.
And,
she stayed for a few days, maybe.
Yeah.
And then she was gone again.
I was going, yeah.
You know.
That's still.
Right.
Was it because of that? I don't really want to say what that is, you know, as far as ISIS. Is that why you didn't stay? I mean...
No, yeah, that's like the main reason Why?
And did you have her room within that?
Oh yeah, and I did. I had her room.
First time she came home,
Yeah,
her room.
I had her room.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because Haru is only about a year younger than Isis, right? Yeah.
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 So by the time she came back, 'cause I don't know anything much about her. I don't know if you want to say.
Oh yeah. I met her. It was funny because I met Haru's father when I was coming from Grady for Isis' doctor's appointment, and I met him right outside of Grady, and then that's how me and him got together. You know.
Yeah.
And then you got pregnant with her, of course.
Of course.
And then I think that's when you came home at that time. But I think that might have been the first time I saw her. I'm not sure, because I remember we took that picture of him in his car seat sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Right. And what happened?
Let me give you the mic, Mom, because...
You think I'm talking too much? Yeah, go ahead. I'll change it.
Okay.
No, okay. I had Haru. I was still staying with you when I had Haru.
When you had her room.
Yeah, because
That's,
I was in
that's
a,
the timeline I was trying to
I was in the hospital by myself.
figure out. Because I don't remember you really being pregnant with her, so you wasn't with me in that time span. You wasn't with me because
Okay, Mom.
I
No.
don't remember. All right, I don't remember. I do not remember I don't remember us. I don't remember your stomach being big at home. You came back home and you was pregnant and that thing.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
You don't? Oh, we was living, remember?
Dale?
We was living down the hill on Flat Shores because remember Uncle Mark and Maya always came and got Isis, and I was pregnant at the time. I was pregnant at that
Did I
time.
know you was pregnant at the time?
I could have sworn you did. I was pregnant. I was pregnant.
I didn't know.
And
that.
they would always come like every other weekend to come get Isis. They was like, "Oh, we're giving you a break because you're pregnant, and you know we want you to take." Yep, I remember that. They would always come and take Isis, 'cause
right.
you know, how I was doing that pregnancy. So and then when the time came for me to have Haru, I remember I think Mikey and Chris dropping me off at the hospital at night, and I was there by myself, and I had Haru. Nobody was with me when I had him. So and I remember calling you. I remember how I said,
Did you talk to me?
"No, not really," and no, not really, because I felt like you was already ashamed of me because I'm pregnant again. So I'm like, well,
No. Maybe that's why. No.
yeah, but
Really?
after, of course, after y'all came to the hospital, and I came to see Haru and stuff like that, and
All right.
yeah, so
Right. But like I said, I don't remember
right,
everything, but it didn't. It mattered to me, but it didn't matter to me that, oh my God, you're pregnant again.
right,
Especially me,
yeah,
who had back-to-back children from that's why I ended up taking Haru again. So I had Isis and Haru, and thanks to the help of Mark, which is my brother, him and his wife used to take Isis. So then I just had Haru, at certain times.
Mind you,
But
you still had to go to work.
and I was
Yeah.
going to work 12 hours a day, yes. So, but no, there's no shame, not for me. You know what I'm saying? My life was kind of that topsy-turvy life too, and you know, that is, and I think we're talking right now, and I'm saying, and what's coming to my mind is that, you know, family dynamics is so important, and knowing your history, of family history, you know, your ancestral history from your you know, your family going back, because these things repeat itself. It repeats itself, because you did yours maybe a little bit different to me, but you know, by the time I was 20 something, 24, I was going on to my 7th pregnancy. I had already had all of you, and I was just 24. You know, so what about me not understanding where you were?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no shame. I wasn't ashamed of myself. You know what I'm saying? So why should I be ashamed of you? And because to me, the family dynamics, that's one thing that really kept me and all of my children very close. Yeah, they probably did whatever they did, but see, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to support. I just always say, no matter what, love shouldn't change anything. Some people some women, I'm sure, that probably took the road that you journeyed on, they might have left home because their mother was treating them badly. Could have been their stepfather, could have been some other father, could have been a family member in the house that led them to walk away. So our story is a little bit different, but that wasn't exactly your thing, and maybe it was. But, you know, still the dynamics in the house was still all about love. I could never look at you and say anything,
right.
you know what I'm saying, or reject you in any way. That just cannot ever be it, you know.
Right.
So you know, you went on that journey, and only God alone knows why, because like I said, we don't know everything from the point behind of what we know, you know, and I think all we can do is continue as we go along further in the book, is to support you as you get everything out, you know, the same way I think we would have supported you if you had decided to come home.
Right.
You know, everybody would have been just like, Big Tina is just hugs and love, you know. So, you know, yeah, we're crying, yeah, to some degree, because we're hurting for you, and we're kind of hurting for ourselves too, you know. So,
yeah.
It's kind of rough. Yeah, I mean, oh my God. But, so, yeah, like I said, I read up to when you met what's the girl's name?
I think I can't remember. It was Lakeisha or something. I forgot.
Okay. Okay, we'll call it Lakeisha. Right up until, that's where, right up till you met her, that's where I read. Do you want to, you know, just elaborate?
tell that story, yeah.
On, you know, after, or
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
what you feel is important about
Her.
her.
Oh, okay, yeah. I met her in the streets, of course. Well, and she had her own little place or whatever. So she said, "Hey, you can come stay with me," and we were staying together for a while. And no, I found out that she danced or stuff or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, so I kind of like did the same thing too, and she was like, oh, if we do this, if we dance together, we can make money together, and stuff like that, and I thought about it, I was like, well, no, but then again, I said, okay, well, I ain't got no job, so I'm like, well, I just, me and her just started, this tag team, whatever dance thing or whatever that me and her did. And we did private parties or whatever. And, some of the men, of course, they were always being aggressive and rough or whatever. And of course, they would just, try to have sex with us or whatever. But sometimes it went there, sometimes it didn't. But the night that she was killed or whatever, we went to this party, and they was trying so hard to separate us, and we was drinking, I was taking pills, ecstasies, everything that was out there at the time I was taking it, and I was on top of that, I was drinking. So, and so they finally separated us, and they separated us.
You can't be explicit on YouTube.
Oh no!
Don't say words.
They separated us, and they got of course I got in the room. They did what they did to her, and of course they did what they did to me, and then I was putting up a fight, but I think she was putting up way more fight than I was because I was out of it. Mm-hmm. So, and then next thing you know, they put us in the back of the car that they had, and I remember because anyway, they took us out by the train tracks, and they threw her out, and
they threw her out the car.
They took her out the car, threw her out.
Did they beat her to death?
Was
she dead?
No, she wasn't dead. Not yet until they took me out the car too, and they were trying to make me watch. I'm like, no, I was anyway. And then point blank to it, they took their gun and they shot her in the head and shot her in the head, and I seen her body fall on the train track. So it was like, after that, I was really, traumatized. And up until now, even at night when I hear the train tracks, the train going by the train, I think of her, I see her, I think of her because that was it. Yeah. And they was about to kill me, but they was like, oh no, let's take this one back, and so I tried to run over there to hold her, and they grabbed me. I was like, no, come on, let's go. They brought me back, so they killed her and they saved me, and that was it. So, shit.
But all right. I know. I remember the first time.
You just able to leave the next day?
They left me in that house or whatever, and I gathered my things and I left.
Where y'all was at? Y'all was in, what state y'all was in? Y'all was in Georgia?
It was in Georgia. It was like on the west side somewhere, and west side somewhere.
Yeah.
And I went back to her place, and I stayed there for a while. When I came back home, I took a shower. I don't know. Of course, I started drinking and doing all whatever again. I just wasn't. I wasn't in my right mind. So
No, because
No.
you know, because you use the word traumatized. I mean, that is really that's traumatic. That's very, very traumatic. I mean, all of it from beginning to end
Yeah.
was, traumatic. And when you, even as you use the word trauma, my mind just flashed to human trafficking. I just saw human trafficking in a, like in a frame, a picture frame, and I'm saying, okay, and you also made the statement that they wanted you to watch them shoot. So their intent was to traumatize you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
And it worked.
yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
It's gonna work. Yeah. So that brought the human trafficking back to me. And it's a part of human trafficking, and then again it's a part
Of that.
of it has another thing behind that, because for me as a person that kind of see things more behind the scene, I always see a whole different thing, which I wouldn't say exactly, but I now that you told me the story at one time, and at
Right.
that time you remembered the girl's name. You don't remember her name right now. And I really thought it happened in New York. No, it happened in Georgia. But I now I see that was an intent to traumatize you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Is this, was this before you went to New York? Because I remember,
Yeah.
I
It was.
remember one time you called me and I sent money for you, on the bus and go home. I think I was in Hawaii.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you were. I called you.
So
Now you
that,
got to speak up because
After that, yeah. Yes, I do that speak up. So after that happened, you didn't go back home, how did you get to New York?
After that
Or
happened.
why did you go to New York?
Oh, cause some guy I met.
it wasn't her father.
No.
Wasn't he from
No.
New York?
And Ruth's father was from New York, but no, it wasn't him. No. It was. Of course, I forgot his name, but he was from New York too. But anyway, yeah, and that's how I ended up.
In New York.
In New
Ended
York.
up yeah.
Did you have traumatic events in New York also? No.
No.
Oh, okay, so New York was okay.
New York was okay, but I was just like, I had to get back home. New York was just too fast and too whatever. I just had to get back, so that's why I called you, so I can get back home. I couldn't do it no more. Besides, he was on drugs, and that's what made me start doing what he was doing. I don't think I could say it on YouTube, but smoking, you know what, but yeah, so he was,
Cocaine?
no, crack. That's what I was smoking, crack.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was doing it
All
real
the
heavy.
time.
Yeah. And yeah. Actually, no, yeah, because I had met him in Georgia, but we had went back to New York, so yeah. But yeah, that's what. Because he was real content on doing it. And after a while, I was like, I was tired of doing it, but he kept making me do it. I was like,
Yeah, they always need
A partner.
somebody to, yeah.
Yeah, so-
And misery loves company and all that, you know. But wow, I mean,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I think we're going into shock right about now because I so can't find the words to speak, to say, you know. I can see Tanya went into a place, a zone that...
yeah, that's why I didn't look
Right.
at her, because I think I was going to start crying again.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, but remember, we're having this conversation for, you know, other people, and also for her to really put it out, to get it out of your system. You can't keep it there because that would help you to heal. That will help you now to not feel like we would think anything of you. You know what I'm saying? So as you bring it out and you talk about it, now you can see it and you can just let it go because it's not your life right now. You know? And of course, it wasn't meant to be your life. Because if it was meant to be your life, you would have been still there.
Yeah, right.
Or you would or you would not have made it.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah. So then you came back to Georgia.
And then I came back to Georgia.
When you called me, it was just like the happiest day ever. When you asked me to get you back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's like, you know, you wonder for families that maybe lost their kids through kidnapping, not like any, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're kind of feeling some of what they felt, and maybe some of them never had their child return, you know. So it says so much about what goes on in the world, what we don't see, what we can't even comprehend. These things happening to people, and that there are people out there that would just do that, you know. It's just like a regular day, you know, to just, you know, do the things that they do, and then commit the act
That they do.
that they, you know what I'm saying? It's hard, you know, to know that people just do these types of things, and it's becoming so prevalent. It's almost becoming normal.
Right. Because this, when I was out there on the street, and the guy at the time, he was my, I guess, so-called pimp or whatever, and he said that that's when I first, you know, heard of human trafficking. He was like, oh, well, we finna take you, we finna take you state to state, you gonna make us a lot of money there and stuff like that. So I was like,
Oh, so
Yeah,
then,
and-
okay. So now you are saying exactly what it was. That's why I caught that human trafficking.
Yeah,
It
he
sounded
said-
like that.
yeah,
And that's what he said.
that's what he said to me. But I ended up running away from him. So, and yeah, He really tried to keep me, but I got away, and I totally forgot where I went at that time.
You forgot where you was.
No, I forgot where I went when I left him. I forgot.
Right.
But of course, I was still in Georgia, but I forgot where I went.
Okay. Okay.
That's that.
And still, you didn't come home.
And nowhere I did.
You felt like you were so far into where you was that you didn't feel that you needed to come home so you could be protected, or you didn't feel like there was any protection there because trauma was also there for you.
Yeah, I
Right.
did. Yeah.
I mean, I seeing it. I'm seeing it. You know.
Yeah, not.
And
The
yeah.
only way I would have truly doubted and stayed home if Tony was there, but she wasn't. So,
Yeah.
and it's like when Tony left,
Speak up a little bit.
she. I don't know what they call it. After women have babies, they get depressed or whatever. And then when Tony left, I was like,
You were depressed.
I was depressed because I felt that she was gonna help me take care of us. But it was just you. But I wanted her. I wanted my sister. And she wasn't there.
But I know I never was.
Yeah. So.
I just didn't know.
Yeah, you guys were, you
Yeah.
were young. Everybody was young.
Yeah,
And don't have any experience in life, don't understand the things in life, and you are a sister to her, of course, a twin, but then she had how many other sisters along with that? So then
Right.
everybody became, like you're all sisters, and she had to be sister to, to the younger ones also, which
Yeah.
made her more so everybody's sister. So
right.
she kind of lost track, as a child herself of, but you remember in the days, even when it was just you and her,
Yeah.
by Miss Trisbane,
Yeah.
and the vows y'all made. And what was that vow?
I know one thing when we was living with Martin Children, me and Tony would watch that show called MASH, and Tony was like, "Oh, we both said, oh, we ain't never going to the army, and stuff like that." And because we would watch that show every night, we're like, "Oh, this is."
And that's what I was saying too. Miss Forget Everything. She didn't remember that.
No,
And
so-
you never forgot it.
I know, forgot it, and then
And I, like I said, I read maybe the first part of the book, and it was so apparent to me that you remembered. It was surprising.
Yeah,
that
when I was
she
reading too, I
remembered every store,
I remember.
every toy.
I had CRF
From
young. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, this girl remember Toys R Us
yeah,
and Nathan's
Hot
Coney
Dog.
Island is not the experience that she remember. You remember the names of everything and every place that you went to. You
She
remember.
said Woolworth. Did you say
Woolworth.
Yeah, Woolworth.
I said, did this girl say Woolworth?
yeah, over.
Yes. So
I start thinking back. I was like,
was Woolworth even a store at that time? I didn't even know.
It was. It was.
because when I read it, then it jogged my memory. I'm like, oh yeah.
See, and but that's what I've always. That's why I always kept the thoughts that remember when you made a comment also when you was in school that they always wanted to put you in the slow class. And I remember every time they try to do it, I'd be like, no, I can't agree. No, I don't want them to do that. So when I was reading the beginning of your book, I said, she not slow. She remembers everything, and I think right now, because we have everything is so open, we know everything that goes on in the world, and it brought me to the fact of autism. You know how they would put the children on a spectrum because they feel like they're a little bit slow, you know. And it kind of made me wonder, should I have, or was I correct in not accepting that she was, you know, because she did have that brain injury, you know, and all of that. But did I do that for me, you know, saying that, oh no, I don't want my child to be in a slow class. Because I said, oh, that will get on your record and you would never be able to, you know, erase it.
Yeah.
You know? So I never did it. But then when I said, this child remembers everything. She remembered everywhere we went. She remembered the whole situation of even when I came and got you and Tanya from Miss Trisbane. Some of the things I don't even remember, she remembers. So you wasn't that slow. You wasn't slow. And I think we might have been babying you too much. You know? Nobody was hard on you either.
Right.
Right. Okay, so where are we again? Tanya E. I'm gonna light this Palo Santo and just kind of clear the air a little bit. It's really getting heavy. So, you know, let's just cleanse the air and bring in better vibes, you know, so we can really digest. This is really a cleansing, healing session right here.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
definitely thought that because even when I said, oh yeah, we need to have a podcast, we need to talk about this on the podcast. I feel like we probably could have did it already, but that wasn't the time. It wasn't the time to do it. Now was the time. You know, now seemed like the right time to do it because, and me myself was telling me, you know, even though I still kind of want to read the book, you know, it is.
and this might make
the
it
time.
easier.
It may. Now is the time to, you know, hear what you had to say.
Right.
You know, hear what Mommy had to say in reference to the whole situation. 'Cause I don't know if me and you ever really talked in depth about.
No, we never.
When Big Tina left.
No,
You know,
we never.
It was kind of, it was
Never.
over type thing, and we just
Yeah.
trying to, you know, and
Yeah.
really, I was just trying to always sweep it under the rug.
Oh,
and-
that's
and
our
just-
family trait
just-
there,
yeah,
right there. And I
okay,
think,
well, sis is with me now, so.
yeah, everything gets shoved under the rug, under the bed, wherever
you
we can
know,
throw
but
it.
Right.
It's
You
still
know.
just like,
Yeah,
you know, still just tapping
yeah.
on my shoulder, you know, on her shoulder, which is why she wrote the book, because she had to get it out that way for her friend, and then, and we're here now. 'Cause
Oh
we had to get it
yeah,
out
you know,
this way.
because
Yeah.
this might make you cry, you know, but in the sense for her people,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That probably never knew what happened to her.
Right.
You know, I wish we remembered her name so we could really call her name, you know,
Yeah.
and even let her spiritually enter the circle.
I don't think, maybe it is. I haven't.
Let me see, Mom.
I know you remembered it at one point.
I truly did. I remember her name. Like off the top. I forgot.
Yeah, but I think when we do remember her name, maybe we can do something specially for her.
Yeah.
We can, yeah, because you were the last one to see her alive. Her spirit must have came to you as it left her body. Because, and who knows, it might be her somehow, you know, saying, please don't kill you, you know, or something to that effect, you know. So I think that, yeah, that we should give her a
proper
kind of goodbye, yeah, because
I remember telling Tony that when I
you
do
did?
my book, I want to give her a proper.
yeah, we need to
goodbye.
get that name. You need to.
Tasha?
No, was that her name?
If you,
Can't do like this outfit. Yes, I know, right? I
okay,
know, right, Tasha. So I'm going to wear this one tonight. Tasha.
Tasha. I think I'm just trying to disguise her name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, so that's not.
no, that's her name. I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, but you know, God knows who she is. You know what I'm saying? So it's really
Yeah.
it's really so sad from the standpoint of
Yeah.
you know, her people. I'm sure there was somebody that loved her, a brother, a cousin, a sister, or uncle, maybe her mom, maybe her dad, you know, and,
You know.
and kids do things, you know, and that put themselves in these types of situations. They put their life in jeopardy, not knowing that what can happen, you know, and so it's just sad, you know, it's just sad, you know, and it's even more than sad. I think it's a whole a plethora maybe of emotions. You know, you're sad, you're mad, you know, you want to cry, you want to, you know, you just sort of almost want revenge, or you want, you know, you know, it's like, you know, you begin to feel a certain way about the world, and you know, why, you know, but this is the world we live in, and this happened a while back, but
Yeah.
it didn't decrease that type of behavior and that type of thing, the thing we call human trafficking that we know about now. It's like a regular thing,
Yeah.
you know. It's still happening and getting worse, you know. So, you know, I don't know, I guess, you know, I don't know, it makes me wanna, I don't know, you know, you feel helpless too, because, and it's the helpless feeling that is so hard to just deal with, you know, you just feeling helpless, you know, and then you just resort, you know, at this point, all you can do is pray. All you can do is pray for the child that passed, you know, pray for the kids that some of them are going through maybe worse and just as bad as what you went through. So it's just a thing that, you know, you can only depend on God if you believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, oh my God, is there an end to it? You know, is there an end?
Yeah.
So, another question to you. It'd probably be the last question.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's a really good question, but I have wrote it down. Have you learned any lessons from the journey, even from the talk today, like other than don't do it.
Right.
You
No,
know what
like
I'm
don't
saying?
do it.
Don't
no.
do it. They don't pay. Like I said, I don't even know if that's a good question, but I have wrote it down.
I think it's a good question, you know. Truly, you know, because your kids or most of your children are pretty much grown.
Yeah.
Your youngest daughter is 18, right? You know. Now that we have done this, you know, and the book is practically written, at least that part where she was alive and came into the world, you know, now you can maybe feel stronger and better to sit her down and have that conversation, you know, with her. Even Isis,
Right.
your firstborn, you know, maybe you have to
Yes,
feel,
yes.
you can do that, you know, the same way you have to honor the girl that you saw pass away, then you have to then now bring that to your children, you know, to your girls especially, and today is girls and boys and babies and anybody's getting caught in, right, it don't matter, you know. So I think that would be a thing to do
Oh yeah.
with them. So, and that would also clear your deeper feelings about what you went through, so they can heal, because they went through it too. Anything I went through, y'all went through. Because if I'm not good, y'all not good. You know?
Right.
So that's why I somehow always try to keep it real. I didn't feel like I was the best mother in the world. You know? Only people can tell me that is y'all. Right? And so they may not.
You say that.
Because as a mom, do you feel you're the best mother in the world?
I'm tell you no.
Right. You feel you're the best mother in the world?
I don't feel I'm the best mother
okay.
in the world. But I don't think you mean it like that. I think you saying it like you didn't do a good job.
Of course,
and that's
of course, and that's exactly how.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't like when you say
I
that.
don't feel, you know, maybe I didn't do the best job that you know, the job that I feel like I should have done. And it's true, maybe lack of knowledge. I didn't know myself. I was a child to some degree myself, you know, so yeah. But I think we as a parent, as for myself, I set a standard in myself as to how I want, you know, to raise my kids. But life, of course, life happens. You know, I didn't want 10 children. Life happens, you know. And I always say, we didn't have a lot, but the thing that we never was short of was love. And I knew that if y'all had love, which is all I could have give, y'all would have been all right. And
That's why
it's true
That's
to
why
today.
I don't like when you say that.
I know, but see, that was just
Because
me.
you did that. You did that. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We would not be together. We would not be.
Right.
True. Yeah,
So.
that's partly true. Yeah. So that was the last question.
Yeah. because
Big
since you
Tina,
have-
say something.
Yeah, you have any
Yeah,
questions
you have
that you wanna-
anything you want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right now, I know I don't have any questions for y'all because I just wanted y'all to hear
Hear you.
my story or whatever. But if there was a question to ask, it would be, as for you, like because I ain't want you to feel guilty about me running off or, and you not being there for me or whatever. And I don't know, I didn't want to ask you not to go off to the Army because that would have been selfish of me. So I'm like, well, and it's like as soon as you have to go to the Army, that was a done deal for me. So it was like, well, okay, I'm just gonna be me. And I always had mommy, but I just felt like, she just couldn't, protect me. Not protect me, but take care of me forever.
I wish.
I know.
I wanted to.
I wanted to.
I wanted
Here's the funny
to
thing. Here's the funny thing.
protect her.
Here's the
Right.
funny thing.
That
Sis, if you would have asked me not to go, I wouldn't have went. And I say that because I literally just only ended up in the Army. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like I was in school, like, yeah, man, bump this school, bump college, I'm going to the Army. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't going to college. I knew I didn't want, for some reason, I did not have that desire. But at the same time, I did not know what I wanted to do afterwards. So really, I only went because in my mind, from my perspective, it was the only option I had
Right.
after high school, It didn't even dawn on me that I could just go get a job and work and do something and then go to
do
college.
something.
That mindset was not even in
there.
my head
What-
at all.
what-
All I knew was that I was a senior in high school and it was graduation was coming up and people had somewhere to go and I knew I didn't.
Right.
And then ran into the Army recruiter. I literally just ended up there. If you would have asked me not to go, I wouldn't win. You know I wouldn't win. I'd have stayed for you, but I do have to say I thank you for not asking me that
Yeah,
because we wouldn't even be
where we are.
here today.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me, ain't no telling.
Ain't no
So-
telling.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. We don't know why things happen the way it do, but it do happen for a reason. So everything is still good. Everything is fine. So and I think you, Big Tina, I think we didn't get into everything deeply, and I think it should be left to us to read the book, you
Oh
know?
yeah, and there's like so much more.
And there
I
is
do
so much
wanna
more.
say and tell.
Yeah, and I think that's what has to happen. We have to read the book then, and we can really then ask you questions on our own or privately or something like that. But I think us just coming forward, you just wanting to come forward and say and speak about the things that happened to you. If you then, and I would suggest, if you then want to speak about it on your own, after your book is written and your book is
Out there.
yes, then that could be your podcast about your life. You can do that, you know. I think, you know, Tanya suggested that we do it as a collective, and I think it was good because then it puts her on a path, you know. It puts you on a path now to really complete that journey and close the chapter, you know. And I think we all.
And can I say this?
Oh,
Because,
sure.
you know, we talk about mental health and stuff like that. And that's like, when that happened, my mental health just like went away because I don't know how, I guess y'all didn't get to all the parts when the umpteenth time I tried to commit suicide or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can talk about that another time. But like the mental.
No,
health-
but the mental health
the mental-
It's fine you
aspect
saying that.
is
It's just like-
very important.
Right. Yeah, it's
And
like
that's what I'm saying. For us who it seems so hard for us to even
no.
imagine, you know. So your mental health,
Yeah.
that I'm sure was affected
Yeah, and
deeply.
And I can't say why. That's the reason why I continue to drink. I mean, I don't drink as bad as I used to, but you know, every now and then I have a drink, or I think of her, you know, and then it's like I try to stop, but then again, it's like
Right.
I can't, you know.
Right.
But
And that's now, you see, now I'm so glad you said that.
yeah,
I'm so glad you said that from the standpoint of you taking a drink when you feel like you need to just de-stress,
Right.
you know, or something like that. So, you know, then we now can respect that. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't feel like, oh, why Big Tina drinking? She need to stop drinking. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't understand why. It never dawned on us to ask the question, well, why are you even drinking?
you know.
You know? So, and again, these are the things that maybe family, before we judge, before we come down on, you know, relatives, people, anybody. Sometimes we don't understand that they're going through something.
Yeah.
There's a backstory to them doing what they do, you know?
Tonya, do you remember when you took me to that counseling lady? Remember?
So I hope well.
Yeah, when I was living with you, you used to take me.
I think so.
And remember, I started telling you my story, what happened to me. I guess many times I was, you know what. So, and then I had wanted to get help for that. So Tony would take me to go talk to her or whatever, you know. I know when I started talking at one point, Tonya started crying. I was like, you know what, I just don't want to talk about it no more. But it helped, you know, and it really got, you know, some stuff off my chest or whatever. But in my mind, it's like,
It's still there.
it's still there. It's like how many times I don't even have all the 2 million toes and hands I can count that happened to me or whatever, or I almost came into that happening to me, or I could be in Brazil somewhere, I never would have known because I could have
Killed yourself.
killed myself, or
gotten
the human trafficking,
killed.
he could have took me and beat me up, and I would have been in the back of that van going to state doing
Yes.
God knows whatever, so it's just like it. And then on top of that is the domestic violence, the guys that I've been with that abused or beat me up or assaulted me, so it's just like that was a lot, and I remember being in her apartment, and she, of course I started drinking, and she, I found her gun, and I was gonna, but I didn't. I was, but she said,
the same girl.
the same girl, because she had a gun,
She talked you out of it.
she told me, she said, Tina, don't do that.
Yeah.
She said, don't do it.
And that's why I said it's like when that's why I said, it seems to also like as she came out of her body when you watched her, got shot. It's like I felt like she advocated for you somewhere. I don't know why I felt like she did.
She did.
So she said it's like that the podcast you did with Tanya, the where you said how we die, how when we have to meet this person.
Oh, the
Right.
3 people you meet
Right.
before you get to heaven.
Before you get to heaven.
Oh, the 5 people you meet.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That was like her experience. To me, that's what I saw then when she said that she watched, she had, was forced to watch. And by some miracle, and she could have been the miracle, that somehow changed the whole dynamics of what could have happened to you.
Right.
So you have to always view her still as an angel. It doesn't matter what of anything. If it's the second time she's saving your life, that's how I'm feeling.
Yes.
I'm feeling she
did.
Yes.
She was like, don't do it.
don't
Tina."
do it.
And
So I have to thank her also.
yes.
Me too. Thank you.
That's so crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my God, are we done? So,
Even though this was hard, it was hard. It was also
yes.
necessary and a blessing, and
I'm so sorry.
I'm so glad that you did it. Maybe just feel some ease, because I just always kind of want you to feel some ease and not feel so heavy about what happened, even though I never asked you. And I always wondered if you felt some type of way because I never inquired about that part of your life, so, and because I didn't inquire, it was part of your burden.
Yeah, because she
of
didn't
that time
feel
period.
comfortable
She didn't
telling
feel
you
like
either.
I cared about her.
Enough,
Right.
for her to say.
And
Yeah.
and I did.
Well,
I
I
was
mean,
just always scared of it. And I just, but you know how it is. But,
Yeah.
As you telling the story right now, I'm thinking, who can I kill? Where's this person? Because I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But it's like I said, sometimes family dynamics, sometimes family don't really talk about the things that, you know, that might happen.
Yeah.
That's true.
We
That
brush
hurts.
it off.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
And she came home and I never knew what she was going through, you know. But anywhere she showed up, I would show up. I don't care where she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna show up.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
You know, so, but I never knew all that happened, you know.
Right.
So I'm, I'm
Mom.
just really sorry,
Yeah.
just really sorry, you know. But God is good, you know.
Remember when we went to go visit Tonya? Me and you. Yeah.
At your, when Isis was born.
When Isis was born, and we came up to see you at your,
Oh, wait, I came to graduation?
yeah.
Oh,
uh-huh.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I finally got to see you. I was,
Yeah.
yeah, I was happy.
Yeah. I was crying her back out.
As usual,
Yeah.
as
It was
usual.
a good time. I was,
Yeah.
yeah, I was so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
So,
that's a little
you.
family history.
Yeah.
And also the fact of the matter and the reason why we had to do it, and I didn't even realize that it would even help us so much. We were basically thinking about you. But then we also, it gave us an opportunity also to look at ourselves and realize that we didn't ask you. We didn't say, well, Big Tina, where were you? What did you do? Were you all right all that time? Da, 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 da. So with us doing this, I'm just, I just want to say to maybe other mothers,
Yeah.
sisters, brothers, whoever, when our child goes into the world and oh my God, and that child come back, try and be mindful, because she never told us, and maybe that child will never talk, but that child would be burdened. That child will have mental health problems. That child, what I'm saying, would still have that trauma inside of them, and they would be unable to get through life with all that trauma, So we learned something today. We learned something today, and I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
You got any closing thing, remark you want to say, sis?
No, not right now. I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. So
So we just, again, we want to thank you for joining us for this episode.
of the Blessed Love Podcast. And yes.
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking to say that. But yes, for the Blessed Love Podcast, please like, subscribe, share, because we never say
Yes,
that.
we never say that.
Everybody else stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? We never say that.
Yeah.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
Share. Right. And yeah, especially, I think especially this one. This one was to me
Leave some
very,
comments below.
yes, very important, because it really, this affects the whole community, all of humanity to some degree,
Yeah.
and so we just give thanks that everything turned out all right for us. My baby is still here, so I'm happy. So we just want to say
We'd like
peace,
to wish you love, peace,
joy,
abundance, and go and conquer your day.
every day. Make every day a good day. Blessed love.
Blessed love.